Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the final part of the Sonic Spinball LP. We're now joined by professional Lewis from Brain Scratch Comms. Thank you for joining us, good sir.
I watched this video, or half of this video, right before this commentary. I'm crying. Why are you playing this like an actual pinball game? You're doing it wrong.
Donnie, why are you pinballing in this pinball?
Here's the thing. Yeah, I watched this and I see you're gonna spend quite a lot of time trying to get this one emerald in the middle here. And the one trick that you're not doing that I always do when I play this game is I don't try to hit the bumper when Sonic hits. I don't try to hit the flipper when Sonic hits when Sonic hits it. I hold on to it. I just let him sort of get caught on the flipper. I hold it up and then I let it fall. He rolls really slowly down the flipper, and then you knock the flipper up when he hits that exact spot for where you're aiming at. It's not the quickest thing in the world, but I tend to get good results with that. And I know.
Yeah, Donnie, you
Come
scrub.
on, man.
You suck at spinball, Donnie. Fuck you.
Sonic Spinball is an old nostalgic favorite of mine. It's a very questionable game on its own, but it was one of the first 4 Genesis games I ever had, and the first Genesis game I ever played. So, apart from that one hideous DOS platformer game that I played for 5 minutes before I owned a Genesis, it was my first video game ever.
Like I said in the previous part, this and Sonic 2 were my first video games that I played, so...
Glorious 3.5 seconds of platforming there.
This is one of the last Sonic games I ever played, and as far as the series goes, so...
Yeah, I never owned this. I used to borrow it off a friend, but I could never get past Lava Mountain, so I was like, fuck this game.
Lava Mountain.
Lava Powerhouse. Lava Powerhouse is the
This
devil.
isn't Lost World, Gareth. You're free.
That game scarred me so much, Chris, I can't get past it.
Lava Powerhouse is the devil, and here's why. Because you got so used to falling through the flippers and being able to land on something in the first level. And then suddenly instant death. No.
What do you, Lewis, what do you think about the kind of presentation and music of Spinball?
I think Toxic Caves is awesome, and the rest of the music just sounds weird compared to all the other Sonic music in the franchise. I'm not a big fan of the machine. I mean, it has a good sound to it, but it's not particularly interesting. Lava Powerhouse is actually a pretty good track. I enjoy that one. And the track for this level, what is this level even called? I keep forgetting.
Showdown.
Showdown. Right? Yeah. The construction site from hell, as I call it. The the music for this level is really bland to me. And I can never remember anything about it besides the fact that it's really edgy.
Well, I think the consensus that we run into with Clement and Johnny is that this is like the only Sonic game on the Genesis to have kind of the signature Genesis twang type of music style to it.
Yeah,
you know?
it's very twangy. It's not so much Toxic Caves, but the other tracks in particular. It sounds like the Genesis sound card, and that's all.
Especially my favorite, the options menu. I love that track so much, man.
A lot of Genesis music sounds like a really dark techno future. Just really weird to me.
You'll love the credits music even more.
Genesis sound chip does bass better than actual bass guitars. That's how good the Genesis was at.
Oh, you can go into space.
It has a very unique sound, and that sound doesn't always work for what it's trying to do, but sometimes it does come out with some really great stuff. Not this time, though. It came out with one great track, a couple good ones, and I don't remember the rest.
What do you think about the length, though? I mean, because again, I know that this is a pinball game, but still only 4 levels. It's kind of like, it's kind of jiffy.
Well, when you think about it, an actual pinball game only has 1 level, so we've already got 4 times the size of a full feature-length pinball game right here. That's a thing. I don't really think of Sonic Spinball much in terms of levels, though, because the difference between Sonic Spinball and an actual pinball game is in Sonic Spinball you have a goal, you have an objective. In an actual pinball game, you're just trying to score as many points as you can before you die. So I enjoy a pinball game where you're actually trying to accomplish something, because I like pinball, but pinball for me is basically how long can you play before your attention span runs out. And that's it. And that's why I don't play pinball all that much. I like having a goal. I like having something to shoot for, or literally shoot for in this case.
Well, I mean, you know what? For the first time, your explanation of that kind of, I guess, to me, justifies Spinball's short length. Although it kind of feels like maybe they should have had a option that we could do like a level select.
Yeah, a level select would have definitely helped, and I think there might be a level skip code. I'm not really sure.
There is a level select.
There is? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't played this since I was like 5, and going out to like the last time I played this game was the first time I beat it. Not counting like that one never finished Let's Play attempt. What happened that time was I got to the last level. For the first time ever, I got to the last level, and we had to go out somewhere. I think it was like a family trip to Sesame Place or something. So I didn't want to turn the system off, but they were telling me to turn the system off, so I basically pulled the wool over my dad's eyes by turning off the television and pausing the system, and it stayed like that for 6 hours until I got back. And I think I invented game saves that day.
Thank you, Lewis. You're our savior.
And then Lewis invented game saves.
Where are
that
these?
day.
Where are these exploding rocks coming from? It's like, this is the funny thing about Sonic Spinball. It has more level design cohesion, like where you are in the fortress, than an actual Sonic game would. Like, okay, it's a fortress built on a volcano. You start in the toxic waste dump, you go through the lava powerhouse, then there's the machine, which is the roboticizer, and now this is the entire fortress exploding, and you trying to get up to Robotnik's escape ship, which isn't escaping very fast, is it? And we don't see it, but there are like 3 or 4 different ways to get into this thing, and I prefer the middle, honestly. It's a lot more interesting than trying to catch this hook.
For me, the hook is easier.
The hook is easier, but not as interesting. I really like Eggman's. Not Eggman. Robotnik's design in this. This is not Eggman. This is U.S. Robotnik, except he has the video game design of Eggman for some reason, except with Saturday. Look. This is an Eggman. This is a Robotnik design you never see anywhere else. What is that outfit he's wearing?
He's a giant.
He's got this.
Why is he so
forgot
big
to put his
for?
cape on. Is all. He was just in such a hurry to get away that he just forgot.
Now, this is something that I never did. You've got a really good system going on. If you just hit the bumper at the right place, you keep looping around and knocking his windshield into pieces. It's really good. Although you kind of flubbed it up there. This is what I mean by more interesting. You get these bouncy things, and then there's this hook, and up into Robotnik's ship you go. But what is this Robotnik here? He's all teeth. He's got this really ugly orange jumpsuit going on. He's fucking huge, like he ate some of Princess Peach's cake or something. And he has the dead black and red eyes from the American cartoons. Although he doesn't have the cone head. It's like the American Robotnik and Japanese Eggman did the fusion dance or something.
I just have to say,
Smell my socks.
I love that it said "smell my socks."
Like if you pay attention to the oh, he caught you with a claw. That's always annoying when it happens. Good thing that was closed, otherwise you would have flown out the side of the ship. The words that pop up in the scorecard, if you pay attention to them as you play, which is probably a bad idea because then you'll forget what you're doing in the game and actually get, and actually die. But if you pay attention to those words for some reason, they're actually all kind of funny. They're like all these really retro 90s sayings pop up all over the place.
So it's like playing SA2.
It's like, it's actually, if you read the words at the top of the screen and attach a voice actor to them, you can't help but attach Jaleel White's voice to him.
Now I could just imagine Jaleel White just saying "smell my socks" for some reason.
Got a buzz,
If you ask
cuz.
him really nicely, he'll probably do it at this point. He needs attention.
For all I know,
Smell
Sonic probably said that somewhere in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Damned if I could watch enough of the series these days to actually, confirm that, because I can't. I was a big fan of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog in the day. It's how my dad got me to actually risk trying this game. But I can't watch an episode of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog now, without cringing. It's I don't get it. I don't know why I was ever interested.
It's part of its charm. I love Adventures. Though there is an episode of Adventures where Tails calls Robotnik Eggman, so they knew they were ahead of their time.
Oh, is there? I know.
Yeah,
I must have missed that one. Huh. That's funny. Which episode was that? I need to see this now.
I forget.
Alright, well, I'm gonna...
There's clips of it on YouTube. That's the only way I know.
Alright.
It's like I own all 3 box sets of it, so I have every episode on DVD. But I'll be damned if I've watched them.
I was about to ask how long this boss battle lasted, because it was getting a little ridiculous.
It was, and you know what I love? There's exactly one piece of flying debris repeated over and over, and it changes color as the palette swaps. But it's like as the windshield shatters, the pieces of broken glass just spontaneously transform into sheet metal.
Yep. And believe it or not, this was the second time in a row I managed to get a no-death run of Spinball. The first time being the Sonic-a-thon run. So
And now you'll never do it again.
I love. Why is the makers of this game don't understand how the world works? Eggman would fall a lot faster than Sonic just because he's
The
faster.
bad ending should have been Tails getting Eggman and flying off.
Actually, physically, I don't think that their falling speed would actually vary. It would be the impact that varied, but they would fall at the same speed, assuming that they were dropped at the same time from the same height. Yeah.
Physics!
There's some complicated physics experiment that was done to prove that, dropping 2 objects of different weight from a building or something or other. I don't remember.
Cartoons have lied to me. And this is the best track in Sonic's history. Fuck you, I love this track.
Oh yeah, this is it's the same track they use in the options menu. The options menu track is the credits theme. Glorious.
Why wasn't this remix in Generations? Damn you all.
they remixed Toxic Caves though.
Well, they gave it the MIDI remix. Was it?
Yeah, a lot of the extra tracks in Generations were just MIDI files with a cheap sound font pasted on top of them. It was pretty bad.
Way to go,
but
June!
So, we asked everyone else this, Lewis, if you had to give some arbitrary rating to Spinball out of 10, what would you?
Probably about a 6 or 7. It's like, for what it is, it's good. It was the American studio making a Sonic game without actually knowing how to program a Sonic game, which is why Sonic controls so ass when he's on his feet.
So again, I don't really think of this game that highly, but in terms of spin-offs, this was probably I would rank this one of the better spin-offs, rather than just a Sonic game unto its own.
Spinball, spin-off.
I see what you did.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank Lewis so much for joining us, and we've come to the end of the Sonic Spinball LP. I want to thank Lewis for joining us for part 3. I want to thank Clement and Johnny for joining us for this Sonic Spinball LP, and I do apologize to everyone who watched this. But I have been FTA.
And I'm some guy that played Spinball, and for some reason everyone likes watching it. Not really. Okay, thanks, bye.
And I'm a geek sitting in his second floor bedroom in his mom's house, commentating over Sonic Spinball. It's been great. Thanks for having me.
And stop.